Hello. Today I wanted to talk about streams of thought and how they affect us and how to evaluate the thoughts that we're putting our trust in. And this is something that's probably one of the more important things that you can do um, in your life is to really recognize that the thoughts that are flowing through your mind are not exactly your thoughts. They're just thoughts in what I'm going to refer to as the collective mind of mankind. Um, these thoughts have an energy form and an energy pattern. And if you have a thought that is entered into your mind, it's because at that moment you are, in a sense, vibrationally equal to that thought. Now, that doesn't mean that that thought has any power over you. Now, that just means that that is where the stream is. Now, thoughts really, in a sense, don't have much power at all. They just kind of flow in and flow out, and it is really, as an individual, our job is to evaluate the thoughts and decide which ones we are going to incorporate into our reality, which ones are more productive for ourselves. Now, if you don't recognize that there is a choice there, um, that those thoughts are there for you to choose from, then you just kind of believe every single thought that goes into your head and believe that those thoughts are you. And in which case, you're kind of just flowing in and out of life, and you know, according to however you are feeling that day. And so you're kind of on autopilot, based upon the collective. The collective runs, a certain way, and granted, keep in mind that your your conditioning has set a certain pattern for you as a kind of the unconscious level. If you become conscious, then that can be changed. So then that really doesn't become a major player anymore. But at the time, if you are not conscious, then your conditioning plays a huge role in determining where you're fitting inside the collective stream of consciousness, where those thoughts are flowing in and out and everything, and which ones you believe are you, and and which ones you act upon, which is the most important part, is the action based upon those thoughts. Action is the driving force behind creation. Action based upon the thoughts. So, because that is what kind of determines, what you're putting your faith in. So, the big thing is to understand that our emotions are a good indicator of where those thoughts are in the relationship of the stream of consciousness. If the feelings and the thoughts they feel you feel fear, anger, frustration, and stuff. That's a good indication of what those thoughts are and what they will continue to perpetuate. If you have a thought of aggression, and of course, if you respond and act in the thought of an aggression, and if you're talking about like one time or something like that, that's probably not going to um, uh, add too much steam to the collective mine of aggression. But if you're doing it a whole lot, and plus you've grown up in a family where their aggression was a big player, then basically you're just feeding into that stream, making that stream stronger, and making that part of your reality. If you're acting upon thoughts of peace and happiness and love, and continue to act in that direction, then those are the thoughts that are going to be your dominant stream of consciousness, and that is the one that you're going to is going to be like your new level of norm. And those are the thoughts that are going to run through your head more, and the thoughts of fear and anger are be almost non-existent. And even if they enter, you don't put faith in them, you don't trust them. And again, the only way you can do that is if you are aware that the thoughts that are entering into your mind are not you. You are the observer of the thoughts. If you don't understand that, then again, you're basically unconscious. You probably wouldn't be watching this video anyway, and you're just kind of flying along with the collective, and don't have much input into the collective. Other than what your conditioning has put. That's basically all you're doing, is just adding to the stream of that particular level. So the big thing is to understand this, because when you the most important part about that is just when the thoughts become fearful or aggressive or depressive or things like that. Those type of negative emotions, those are the ones that were really, I would prefer to focus on, because of course positive emotions, you're going to want to continue those naturally anyway, because those are ones that they feel good. So of course you're going to act upon those thoughts, and those thoughts generate more of that anyway. So that's kind of a natural stream. So I would say, in theory, everybody should be slowly and gradually moving up, just because of that, because excitement, happiness, love, you tend to want to move in that direction. What we want to eliminate and try to negate as much as possible are the negative emotions and the negative thought forms. Now the thing is to recognize when you're having these thought forms, what you're feeling. If you're feeling a certain way, the biggest thing that you can do is not trust the thought, and definitely do not act upon the thought. Recognize that that thought is coming from a mind stream of that emotion. And if you respond and believe the thought of that emotion, then expect a result that is going to feed into the stream of that emotion. I hope that made that clear. If you believe, and I'll repeat it, if you believe the stream of thinking that that thought is coming from, meaning if you are believing in a thought of fear, or if you are believing in any thought, don't matter how much evidence, it doesn't matter, it makes no difference. No matter how much evidence there is, no how much experience you've had in this particular thing, if that thought is coming into your mind And with that emotion, if you believe it, then you will and act upon it, meaning you're acting in a certain way, based upon that thought happening, meaning you believe it, then you are creating more of that negative emotion for yourself and for others. Because of course, whatever you're putting out is affecting other people as well. So the biggest thing for you is to understand that, is to understand those thoughts that are flowing through your mind and where they're coming from, how they feel, what do they feel like. If they feel a certain way, do you want to put your faith in it? Do you want to act with that, knowing that that's what it's going to create? It's going to create more of that. That's what it wants to do. It wants to create more because it wants to. It has almost a life force to itself. It wants to live. It wants to continue to create that stream in you. And of course, by creating it in you, you create it and feed into the collective of that particular stream. You have to decide for yourself what stream you're going to add to your own life, what stream you're going to feed. And I know for everyone wants to feed into the positive feelings, the positive thoughts, because that is going to lead to more of yourself anyway. I guess that's all I have to say for right now, and I want to thank everyone for watching. Take care.